during these last couple of years, we've seen the Daily Wire try to go from just being a news site online to being more of an entertainment slash streaming site. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that Hollywood just doesn't resonate with people like it used to. Now, the Daily Wire will say it's because of woke messaging and other stuff like that and the Hollywood stuff now, but I disagree with that. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Hollywood has been complacent. They haven't really had to compete like they used to. And now we're starting to see other smaller areas or other smaller avenues just kind of like rise up, like Angel Studios did with Sound of Freedom. I mean, that's currently sitting number 3 at the box office right now, above big budget productions like Mission Impossible and Indiana Jones. And we've also seen in recent years other things from like South Korea come over here and make waves. And I think Daily Wire sees this and they're like, this is our time to actually make an impact right now. And right now they're going to be making their most ambitious move yet. So this was announced today by them. They're going to start production on the Pendragon Cycle with the CEO, Jeremy Boring, taking a leave of absence to direct it. And this is kind of interesting because this is a historical medieval fantasy type movie. So based off of the Pendragon Cycle, which is a series of books on the Arthurian legends. So it can be interesting to see how this actually goes about. I mean, before the movies that they've made has been like documentaries like What is a Woman, which was pretty good and kind of bridged their the space between like news and entertainment. And then they did Terror on the Prairie or Run, Hide, Fight. So they've done like low budget movies. Terror on the Prairie is a historical one, but that was definitely a low budget one if you've seen it. And now medieval one, I'm wondering how they'll actually do this on the cheap, or if they're actually going to do it on the cheap, or if they're going to devote money to it. Because it does say in the article that Jeremy Boring, the CEO and director of this, or one of the directors of this, is a fan of the book series and it is a passion project of his. So maybe he's willing to spend some money on this to try to make it look good. I mean, it's been shown in the past that Daily Wire is willing to invest money in something that they think will have an impact and is something that they really believe in. I mean, I don't know if they're going to spend $100 million like on this movie like they were, or no, excuse me, on this series of the Pendragon Cycle like they spent with the kids content here. But I can see them spending like maybe 20, 30, up to 50 million on this. And if you're making a historical movie, like a medieval type movie on a budget like that, you can make it look really good, or you can make it look really cheap. I mean, it just depends on how you spend the money and the talent of the people behind the scenes on it. So far, Jeremy Boring doesn't have much of a track record as a director. They're bringing in, what's his name? Ryan Whitaker to co-direct with him. He hasn't done a ton, but I think a lot of the reason they bring him on is he's probably a director who sees eye to eye with them ideologically. So that's why they have him on there. Will that work? Who knows? I mean, I don't necessarily think this is going to be like a Lord of the Rings or whatever, but I think it has the potential. I mean, we've seen that with Sound of Freedom. I mean, that's a movie that had a low budget, but it definitely made the most of it, what they had. So we could see the same thing with here. I mean, they already are filming this in Hungary and Italy. So those are two places that have tax incentives for film productions there. So that's going to save them a lot of money with that. And they're using a multinational cast and stuff like that. But this is a quick production and it's not going to be huge like that. I mean, right now they're saying it's going to start in September and then they're going to release it late next year. So that's a pretty quick turnaround for what they're trying to do with this. So I am curious about what's going to happen with this because like I said, this does sound like an interesting story, like making a series on the Arthurian legends based off of these books. That could be something really cool to see right now. But I'm just waiting for like, I don't know, some set photos, maybe a teaser or trailer. Because once you start seeing some actual video of this, you can kind of get an idea about how it's going to look. And I mean, or at least the quality of it. Because I mean, if you watch the trailer for it and it looks cheap, then it's like, well, you can't even make your trailer look good. So then obviously it's going to be bad. But if the trailer looks good, then there's some potential in here, but who knows? But I'm going to try to stay up to date on this because I do like entertainment stuff and I really am a sucker for fantasy. So maybe this will be good. If you want to stay up to date with this, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I will be reporting on this as it comes out later on. And if you like this video, make sure you click that like button and leave a comment below to let me know what you think about all this. Thank you.